We all know about Supersize Me. This is Supersize Me 2, Holy Chicken. It's in theaters now. It's available for streaming on demand this weekend. And listen, when I say it's a must-see, I'm telling you, it is a must-see. I mean, not to compare the first one to the second one, but I like it even better. Morgan Spurlock, hi. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Jonathan and Zack, welcome to my show.
Hey, we're glad to be here. Thank you.
I am so grateful for what you guys do for a living. Can I just say that? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
I mean, first of all, what made you want to, focus your documentaries with fast food in the first place?
Well, I mean, for me, what I was excited about with this film was to kind of show a different way of where our food comes from. And by opening a restaurant, opening like a fast food chicken restaurant, which now we're right in the middle of the chicken craze. Like we couldn't have a better time than Holy Chicken sandwiches.
Right.
It's crazy. And so, when we said let's kind of look at how our food is raised, how do we do this? Chicken is the most eaten animal on the planet. We eat 50 billion chickens a year worldwide, which is crazy. 9 billion in the U.S. alone. 300 chickens a second are eaten in the U.S. And so when I started looking for the world's greatest chicken farmers, I got attached to these two guys, Jonathan and Zack Buttram. Jonathan, who's been an outspoken vocal critic of the chicken business for a long time, and his son Zack, who raised our chickens. These guys just jumped at the chance to kind of help us out and tell the story.
Wait a minute. Is that the farmer?
Yeah, these are our farmers in here.
You guys, hi.
Hi.
What does it feel like to have this newfound fame? Although it's not in theaters yet, so probably everyone hasn't seen you, but just from what people know, what has it been like?
Well, it's been unbelievable. Never dreamed that we would make it to this point of doing this, but that's what I'm here for, is to speak out for the farmers and the animals.
Good for you. Now, for those people that don't understand what this documentary is yet, Morgan, give them an idea so they go see it.
Yeah, so the whole idea behind Supersize Me 2 Holy Chicken is, I decided to open my own fast food restaurant. And so I show you everything that goes into that, from what does it take for me to grow a product, make a product that you'll want to eat? How do I market it to you? How do I sell it to you in a way that's going to make you want to buy it, spend your money, come into the store? How do I wrap everything around the healthy world? Healthy halo is what we call it in the industry, the health halo that makes you believe that it's actually better for you than it is. And that's the problem with all the food today, is we're being sold kind of a bill of goods, and how we're marketed things like fried doesn't exist anymore. Everything's crispy. So we've got a delicious grilled crispy chicken sandwich at Holy Chicken. And, we paint everything with these beautiful green colors. We give all these kind of tag words to let you know, like natural or green or good or better, things that like have no regulation and don't mean anything. So we pull the curtain back on all that in the restaurant, and people have an amazing experience.
And do they have a negative reaction once they start eating and reading what's going on?
Well, if the food wasn't so delicious, they might. But we have probably the greatest chicken sandwich you're ever going to eat in your life.
I got to tell you, when I was watching it, I was like, damn, that looks like a good chicken sandwich.
That is a good-looking chicken sandwich. And in New York City this week, so for folks who are in and around New York, Holy Chicken is going to be opening up this Wednesday. So we're going to, starting at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, the 11th, through Sunday the 22nd, we're going to do a pop-up of Holy Chicken on 18 West 23rd Street in the Flatiron.
Good for you. So now I can get one and, get fat too. So
you look great. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I've got dried up beef jerky all over my shirt right now. So I have to ask you, so in going into the industry and you're uncovering a lot of things, one of the heartbreaking things to learn about was this tournament deal that they do.
The tournament system.
It is awful.
Yes.
Can that be changed in any way?
Well, this is a great question for Zack and Jonathan. They've been a part of this for years. So guys, explain to everyone who's listening kind of what the tournament system is.
All right, so the tournament system it's a flawed system, because what they've got is they got me sitting against 10 or 12 other farmers, and we're trying to see who can grow the biggest chicken, the cheapest, and the fastest. But what they do is the company comes in. If you've got any trade secrets that'll help you beat anybody else, they make you give those secrets up and give them to other farmers. So they're trying to level the playing field, but yet they still want to pay us based on who can do what. And then they take in control who gets the good chickens from the hatchery that day. We were always getting the sick chickens because Dad always knew what to do to make chickens become healthy again, because he'd done them so much his whole entire life. He knew how to handle and raise chickens. And so he passed that along to me. But the company, they don't care. All they're about is making money. They could care what they do, how it affects us, how it affects our family. We've got chickens on Christmas Day before. Instead of being able to be at home spending time with our kids, we were putting chickens in chicken houses because they couldn't get anywhere else.
Why do you have to get the chickens through them?
they're contract suppliers. There's no, like, if I wanted to go we've got 12 empty chicken houses right now, or 14 actually, sitting empty. If I wanted to fill those with chickens right now, there's nobody that I could go to and purchase that many baby chicks from. At one time. And you can't grow chickens scattered out because they'll spread disease amongst each other.
Yeah, in the United States, Jenny, there's 5 companies that control 97% of the chicken that you eat. It's Tyson, Purdue, it's Cook Foods, Sanderson, and Pilgrim's Pride. So to work outside of that system, to grow chickens outside of that system is almost impossible. Like when we tried to raise the birds, and you see us raise the birds in the movie, like it was a near impossible task for us to find a place just to get our chicks from. And we could get 2,500. They said we could possibly get up to 10,000 from the supplier that we had. But that's it. Like you really can't max out beyond that. To kind of create a sustainable food environment where you're raising healthier birds is really difficult in this kind of machine system that's been created by big chicken.
We call them the chicken mafia.
It is the chicken mafia. It's really sad and unbelievable. Do you think that this will change anything? Will we be able to get rid of the tournament style because of this film?
Well, the film may shed some light on that for everybody and make you try to force a change, but the vision that we've kind of had amongst ourselves with Morgan to where this Holy Chicken restaurant may be able to go nationwide and be supplied by local farmers that care about the food that's being raised, giving farmers like us that do care and family farmers like me
business.
That, I'm blackballed. I can't even grow chickens for anybody. I'm going to find a new line of work just to support my family. And hopefully the vision that we've got is going to carry this across the nation where other people will get the chance to grow chickens and farm if they want to. Yeah. All while taking care of everything.
Create our own independent system outside of big chicken, which would be the greatest thing ever.
And a healthy,
it would be the
humane
greatest
way.
thing ever. Now, what about the chickens? Because we see them; they are huge chickens, and some of them can't walk because they grow so large so quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, is that just that type of bird, or why are they growing so quickly? And
Jonathan can talk to that. Yeah.
It's in the breeding, and then there's hormones given, and they say they're not, and antibiotics given. The chickens that would be at Holy Chickens are never given the antibiotics or hormones and not crowded into tight spaces. So these factory farms, these large integrators, all they want to do is the bottom line is dollar, and they pack those birds in less than 1 square foot.
When you watch the film, we had 2,500 square feet. We had 2,500 chickens in a barn that's about the size of a football field. And normally, when Big Chicken is raising chickens in those barns, they have 10 times as many chickens in there. So there'd be 25,000 birds in that same space that we had 2,500.
I can't imagine how many you step on with that many.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
You guys were stepping on a few.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt so bad when you did the autopsy on the chicken. It was like, oh my God, he had a heart attack. But that's a common thing. So is that something that you have to continue? You're forced to continue if you want to be in this business?
Yeah, well, what we look for is the integrators that we grew for as factory farmers was when those chickens were having heart attacks, that means they're healthy. They were growing so fast as outgrowing their organs, and fluid was going around their lungs and their heart, and this caused them to have a heart attack. If you're that farmer, that's the way you get paid. You've got a healthy chicken and you're going to get a good check.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
There's no other industry in the world like, hey, they're having heart attacks. This is great.
Right? It's so bizarre. Let me plug it again. Supersize Me 2, Holy Chicken. It's in theaters now, and you guys can stream it on demand this weekend. What's the misconception when it comes to organic or free range? Explain that to people.
Well, I think the biggest thing with all of these labels is you don't realize that most of it is labeling. Like the idea of free range is so insane. And you see in the film, there's a great scene where it's like, I called the USDA. I'm trying to find out, is there any type of regulation? Is there a certain amount of square footage I have to give the birds? And they said, no, there's nothing there. They just have to have access to the outdoors for, up to 51% of their life. And so I said, well, can I open the door? We're in Alabama. It's hot. It's like 100 degrees here. Can I open the door in the morning so they can have access when it's cool, and then open it at night when it's cool? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's totally fine. And so we put this little piece of fence, Zach and I, that is probably 5 feet by 5 feet at the door where you open the door, and submit it to the USDA, and that was free range. But here's the thing you don't realize. So you're like, oh, well, they'll get to go out and they'll run around in that little area. They don't even have to go outside. To be classified as free range, a chicken never has to set foot outside. They just have to have the ability to maybe go outside if they wanted to.
I mean, that's what's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In 2014, the USDA pulled the country of origin labeling off where you would know where your chicken came from. Now they're allowing foreign countries to put product of USA on the labeling. And when you go to the store, you say, product of USA, it's USA. Oh, no, it's not. If it says product for USA, it is not USA.
How are they getting away with that?
Because they package it here.
Oh, my God.
It's crazy.
I mean, doesn't it make you nuts sometimes? I mean, Morgan, because I understand, like, your thinking. It's like you want to be a whistleblower, a changer, and there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
with these regulators.
And the regulators are the worst. And I think because what you start to realize with the regulators is these are people who have come from big chicken, who then go to work for the USDA, who then change the regulations to make it more beneficial for corporations and not consumers, not folks like you or I. And then they go back to work for those corporations again, making huge paychecks. It's this revolving door of corruption that does nothing to protect chicken farmers like Jonathan and Zack, that does nothing to protect you and I as consumers and making sure we're getting the best food possible. And it's just continuing to line the pockets of these giant, monopolies. And so what you hope is, you ask what do I hope comes out of this, or what do we try to do is, there's nothing we can do more than to give people like Jonathan and Zack Buttram a voice, like letting Zack and these guys be heard for what's happening and what's wrong in this industry. And then what you hope is, on the heels of a film like this, that people start to get angry. You need people to say things need to be better, things need to change. And, part of what we're trying to do through Holy Chicken, through the actual restaurant, is empower chicken farmers like them to be able to make a living.
I love it. And as consumers, what can we do, let's say, in a grocery store that would make a difference?
Well, I think
we avoid?
Keep going, Jenny, keep going.
Do we avoid like Tyson, or can I name all these certain ones, other ones that you want to lean towards more? So what can we do as consumers to help you guys?
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, most of the organic free-range chickens are not going to be in grocery stores. Maybe Whole Foods has some, but there's really not a market for us to go to if we want to grow those birds, and so you can eat healthy birds in there. There's a few outlets around of farmers that you can go to their farms and purchase those chickens, but big chicken companies are going to try their best to keep this from happening. That goes into their pockets.
And the best thing, I mean, you and I live in cities where we have, access to like so many other choices. In New York, we have great chicken farmers who come down to the city on weekends, all the way up until probably October, November, in farmers markets where they're bringing birds that they actually raised on their farms and slaughtered themselves. I mean, that's where you should try and seek out your chicken. But a lot of people can't do that. And so then if you can't do that, you really have to understand, read the labeling. We live in an age now where you can find out almost anything about your food if you take the time. And I encourage people to find out where the food's coming from, where the birds are being raised. Ask the companies questions. The more you are that squeaky wheel, the more things will start to change.
It's so true. We got to empower ourselves by educating ourselves and doing something about it. I know I only have a minute left, but what about the beef industry? It's the same thing? Is it like a beef mafia?
Yeah, the beef mafia. When they took the country of origin labeling off, I have a small cattle farm. My calves are bringing $1,500 a head. As soon as the country of origin labeling went off, they dropped to $600 a head, below what it cost me to grow them. This destroyed us farmers. Then, like Cargill lately just bought up a lot of soybeans across the United States at a really cheap rate from farmers, and then shipped them over to Brazil. And because of the tariffs, they did this in the illegal way, and then they shipped the soybeans to China, and they made a fortune off the farmer's back. This is the nasty, underhanded stuff that needs to be done away with, that's destroying the health and the livelihood of us farmers.
It is. You're right. It's farmers and it's our health, too. We've got to do something about it. Thank you guys for speaking out. I love it, what you're doing. Morgan Spurlock, Jonathan, and Zack Buttram. You guys, please come back anytime. I will be happy to. Did I say your name wrong?
Buttram.
Fuck me. Sorry. Supersize Me too. I saw them all look at each other like idiot. Supersize Me too. Holy Chicken in theaters now, available on demand this weekend. And name where we can get it in New York again.
And Holy Chicken itself. Holy Chicken opens up 18 West 23rd Street this Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the next 12 days. So come get yourself a delicious grilled crispy chicken sandwich.
There you go, and go see the movie Supersize Me too, and do something about it, you guys. Don't just watch it. Don't be a sheeple. Empower yourself and do something. Thank you so much. You guys come back anytime.
Jenny. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!